I mentioned this gentleman, David Mallet, a little while ago. David is a wonderful, wonderful songwriter. I think I had the pleasure of meeting him last week in Portland, Maine. I'd like to do another one of his songs for you. Before I do that, I'd like to tell you kind of a part of what I learned from David and what I get from you. Quite often people write to me and they tell me how they've used one of my songs in their wedding, or they have my music played in the background as their children are being born. And, yeah, I think it's pretty far out myself. But the thing that they say in all of those letters is that somehow, some very deep feelings that they have, or some experiences or dreams that they share that they've not really been able to put into words, that somehow in my music I've said it for them. And that's what I want to do. If somehow I can say it honestly enough and clearly enough that it's something that you can relate to, and you find out, that there's other people that feel the way you do, and it makes us all a little bit closer together. So I want you to know that I've experienced the other side of that, you see. On rare occasions I'll come across a song that somebody else has written that says it for me. And it just makes me happy. And this is such a song written by David Mallet called The Battle Is Over. And you say that the battle is over, and finally the war is all done. Go tell it to those with the wind in their nose, who run from the sound of a gun. And riding on the sides of the great whaling ships, or on ice floes where conscience is lost, with a wild in their eyes, it is they who must die, we who must measure the loss. And you say that the battle is over, and finally the world is at peace. You mean no one is dying, and mothers don't weep, or it's not in the papers at least. There are those who would deal in the darkness of life. There are those who would tear down the sun. And most men are ruthless, but some will still weep when the gifts we were given are gone. All the blame cannot rest on the heads of the few. It's become such a part of the race. It's eternally tragic that that which is maddened be killed at the end of the glorious chase. From young seals to great whales, from waters to wood, they will fall just like leaves in the wind, with fur coats and perfume and trophies on walls. What a hell of a race to call men. And you say that the battle is over, and finally the war is all done. Well, go tell it to those with the wind in their nose, who run from the sound of a gun. Yes, and write it on the sides of the great whaling ships, or on ice floes where conscience is lost. With a wild in their eyes, it is they who must die, we who must measure the loss. With a wild in their eyes, it is they who must die, we who must measure the cost. Saturday night in Toledo, Ohio, is like being nowhere at all. All through the day, how the hours rush by, You sit in the park and you watch the grass die. Oh, but after the sunset, the dusk and the twilight, when shadows of night start to fall, they roll back the sidewalks precisely at 10, and people who live there are not seen again. Just two lonely truckers from Great Falls, Montana, and a salesman from places unknown says, Thank you very kindly. All huddled together in downtown Toledo to spend their big night all alone. You asked how I know of Toledo, Ohio. Well, I spent a week there one day. They've got entertainment to dazzle your eyes. Go visit the bakery and watch the buns rise. Oh, but let's not forget that the folks of Toledo unselfishly gave us the scale. No strings, honest weight. That's the promise they made. So smile and be thankful next time you get weighed. And with that wet wind, let this be our motto. Let's let the sleeping dogs lie be. Yes. And here's to the dogs. Give me a break, you guys. And here's to the dogs of Toledo, Ohio. Ladies, we bid you goodbye. It's a terrible song. As a matter of fact, I'll be in Toledo Monday night, folks. I'm very, very excited to go sing there. I can hardly wait.